Round 7, a microcosm for the whole fight so far. Both men had their chances.
And the crowd has loving it.
Now look, what you got to do is step around him with the jab, you understand? Hey, listen, now just step around him with the jab and punch him. Right? Now look, don't get hit with no crazy punches, you don't have to. Look.
Right him somewhere in the middle,
All right, this is the early part of the round where that right hand seemed to give Holyfield trouble. There it is again, a chopping right hand from Foreman. But in the second half of the round, this fusillade of hard punches from Holyfield, and the old man covers up. Covers up like an old man confused in traffic.
But what a round, Larry. Both men landing over 50% of their punches in the round. Both men landing over 30 blows. You keep wondering how Foreman can bring anything back into the center ring at his age, taking the pounding he's taking and the discouragement that must go with it. More of the same. Holyfield steps up inside and cracks to the body.
I don't know if you could hear it out there, but Holyfield's punches resound around ringside.
People have been talking for months about Foreman's punching power. This is a chance for Evander to prove that he can fashion some knockout artistry himself.
Whatever the end of this fight is, you just have to salute George Foreman for the way he's gone about this, for his determination. He could have folded his tent and gone away, and everybody would have said, "Hey, thanks, George. You gave us a lot of laughs for 4 years, and we're glad you made a big payday." But he's still out here.
Indeed, there were a lot of people who would have said that he had won big already just by virtue of stepping into the ring for this event. But we're in round 8. He's won big tonight again.
Yep.
It was at about this point 17 years ago in Zaire that the Foreman machine ran out of gas. This has been a whole different enterprise. There's been no rope-a-dope here tonight, as Evander Holyfield has pressed back in the action all the way. Solid right hand. Foreman stunned again.
Let him go. Step out.
After the fury of round 7, it was inevitable that there would be some brief vacations in round 8, and both fighters have taken them.
I'm in the rounds now. All right, I want to win this thing. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. You know what? When after he throws a little set of punches, you lock, right? Yeah. The minute he stops, you can start.
Harold, how do you score the fight through 8?
Larry, 79-73, 7 rounds to 1 in favor of Evander Holyfield. The only round I can see George Foreman winning was the 6th, because Evander stopped moving and George started to get to him with some of those clubbing shots. But Evander's shots are so much more frequent, so crisper, so sharper, with so much more velocity and snap.
George Foreman said to his trainer as he came back to the corner, how many rounds is that? I'm going to still win this thing. Let's see.
Yeah, the immediate question is how? And the answer would appear at this point that it would have to be a knockout. Nobody in his wildest imagination could have envisioned George winning a decision anyway. Almost nobody thought the bout had a chance to go the distance. But I'm thinking of Emmanuel Stewart. Of all the experts who have been polled in recent days, he's the one who said Holyfield will win a decision.
Let him loose. Let him go. Step up.
Holyfield's brain trust said, go out to win the fight. Just win the fight. If the knockout comes, let it come.
Both hands are free. Both hands are free.
Solid right hand again from Holyfield, followed by the left to the body. That combination has worked for him over and over in the bout. Briefly chanted Foreman, Foreman, but then it quieted down almost as quickly as it had begun. Holyfield with the jab on the button.
Great. Let him loose. Come on.
You might begin to wonder if with a big lead on the scorecards and given George's dangerous punching power, Holyfield would begin to run a little bit, use more of the ring and stay away. His corner doesn't believe that's the way to negate Foreman's power. They want Holyfield up inside in George's chest.
All right, those long punches, where those long punches can't reach a target. From what we've seen so far, Jim, I don't think it would make any difference if Evander Holyfield weighed 190 pounds. The same thing would be happening. So the questions about whether he's a true heavyweight, at least as far as this fight is concerned.
A solid right hand has stunned George Foreman. He can't be saved by the bell. He can't be saved by the bell, but he isn't going to go down either.
Just watch the accuracy of these punches after that initial shot. Straight punches. Foreman is floundering, but with all those arms, he's a hard guy to find. It looks like Dempsey and Willard in that kind of an exchange. The smaller Dempsey, quicker all over the bigger, lumbering Willard.
Been that way between David and Goliath, hasn't it? In most of these huge man, smaller man matchups, going back all the way through in boxing history, the smaller man has won, whether it was Bear against Carnera, whether it was Michael Spinks against Jerry Cooney in this ring a few years ago.
Sometimes they weigh the wrong things. They don't weigh ability and they don't weigh heart. And we're getting to a point, Jim, where I'm beginning to think, all right, George, you're proving your point, and I hope he doesn't get hurt.
Put some tape on
He gets
there.
an extra rest here now, as Evander Holyfield must have a loose piece of tape cut from the glove. Foreman in a neutral
Keep
corner.
turning this guy, baby.
No instructions. No
Lou Duva starts to give instructions to Holyfield, and Rudy Battle says no instructions.
Let's keep him up. That's it. Keep him up in this deal. Keep him up. Keep him up.
How much more of that does Foreman want to take?
I sense in the crowd, Jim, an admiration and respect for what Foreman is doing, but also an appreciation for how Holyfield is taking him apart.
And perhaps also a general recognition that the issue has probably been decided here, to all intents and purposes. Solid right hands from Holyfield. Foreman wails back with the left, but he's groggy again. Long way to go in this round. Clubbing right hand, and Holyfield grabs and holds on. George still with some socket. Flesh around Foreman's eyes is puffy and swollen. One jaw is swelling up as though there might have been some damage done underneath there. And Holyfield continues to wail away.
And still George Foreman comes. What a man.
Step back. Step back. Step back.
George Foreman for his courage and persistence.
They're on their feet. Almost everybody in the arena standing up.
He's doing just fine. George, you know that big straight right hand you're throwing that bag? Yeah. If you can hit him with a jab, you can hit him with a straight right hand, not looping it. The same thing you're doing.
There's Holyfield slipping the punch and coming right back with his own. Just watch this. Slip, punch. Charlie Chipes is telling